Anytime my wife feels like she's not protected by whatever I do, that's my job. That's why God gave her to me, is to make sure I have a covering and protection over her at all times. And if she feels like my words are crass, then I'll change my words.
Okay, let's dive in. What's happening with Kimmy Scott and her husband Maurice isn't just uncomfortable. It's a clear reminder of how reality television can sometimes push boundaries too far. Imagine this. A woman is literally fighting for her life, yet the cameras keep rolling. Meanwhile, her husband's behavior has left people wondering whether they're watching an authentic relationship or just a carefully polished public relations performance. Kimmy Scott has never been afraid to be vulnerable. She's intelligent, accomplished, and widely known as one of the most genuine, down-to-earth cast members on Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's part of why so many people connect with her. But everything shifted the moment she revealed something deeply personal, her battle with breast cancer. That single confession didn't just change the tone of the show, it completely altered the way viewers saw her marriage. Kimmy was raw, open, and sincere. Her pain and fear were visible. Her honesty drew empathy and respect from viewers. Maurice, on the other hand, appeared detached. While his wife poured out her heart, his reactions came across as distant and mechanical. There were no teary moments, no cracked voice, not even a quiet gesture of comfort that made audiences feel he was truly present with her. Instead, what people saw was a man seemingly more concerned with appearances than with standing firmly by his wife during her darkest moments. Now, nobody expects every man to cry on national television to prove his love. Stoicism can sometimes be strength. But what viewers witnessed went far beyond that. Maurice didn't simply appear strong, he appeared cold. Kimmy would break down almost every episode, her fear about her health spilling out in heartbreaking ways. And there was Maurice, often sitting beside her with the expression of someone attending a corporate seminar, not a terrified husband clinging to hope. It didn't take long for fans to notice. Social media lit up with criticism. Tweets questioned why Maurice sounded like he was reciting a script. Others described his energy as icy. The tipping point came during one specific scene. Kimmy poured out her worries about how chemotherapy was destroying her body and spirit, and Maurice responded not with empathy, but by shifting the conversation to everyday logistics. That moment stunned people. Sympathy quickly turned into suspicion. Viewers began to ask tough questions. Was Maurice simply someone who lacked emotional intelligence? Or was something more deliberate happening behind the scenes? This is where things started to unravel. Speculation grew that Maurice was using his wife's illness to polish his own image. After all, what could look more respectable than a husband loyally standing by his wife during her toughest fight? It's the perfect redemption arc, especially if your reputation has already been questioned. And people remembered. They remembered the whispers from before Kimmy's diagnosis, the rumors about late-night meetings, questionable messages, unexplained absences. Stories had already been circulating about Maurice possibly living a double life, one for the cameras and one in private. So when he suddenly seemed eager to project the role of a devoted husband, fans weren't buying it. Instead of seeing authenticity, they saw strategy. Then the situation escalated even further. Leaks from behind the scenes started surfacing. According to one production assistant, Maurice once asked crew members how emotional he should appear in a specific scene. That single detail set the internet ablaze. The idea that a man could treat his wife's cancer journey like a performance audition was enough to disgust people, whether the story was accurate or not. Even the mere suggestion that her pain could be staged or exploited crossed a line few imagined would ever need to be drawn. Yet the cameras kept rolling. Kimmy continued filming through chemotherapy sessions, physical exhaustion, and emotional breakdowns. Some viewers praised her resilience, calling her a true fighter. Others were horrified. Why was she still on set when she could barely sit upright? Was this her choice? Or was someone convincing her that the story was too good to pause? The whispers grew louder. If Maurice really pushed her to keep filming because the storyline was valuable, then this wasn't just about being emotionally distant, it was about exploitation. And once that idea gained traction online, everything changed. Viewers stopped giving Maurice the benefit of the doubt. Every word he spoke, every forced smile, every dismissive glance was replayed and dissected. In one memorable episode, Kimmy, visibly fragile, opened up about how chemotherapy had drained her body, mind, and spirit. It was a gut-wrenching confession. Instead of sitting with her pain or offering comfort, Maurice shifted the conversation to parenting schedules. No hug, no pause, no acknowledgement of the gravity of what she just said. It felt less like a man supporting his wife through trauma and more like someone keeping track of his calendar. The internet erupted. Reddit threads analyzed his body language as if it were evidence in a trial. TikTok creators broke down his tone of voice, pointing out patterns of detachment. Facebook groups became support networks, with fans sharing their own experiences caring for loved ones through illness. Nearly all of them agreed on one thing: something felt profoundly wrong with Maurice. A few loyal viewers tried to excuse his behavior, saying maybe he was overwhelmed, maybe he didn't know how to process what was happening. But as more footage aired, it became harder and harder to defend him. The situation reached another boiling point when word spread that Kimmy had asked to take a break from filming and been denied. An alleged insider claimed Kimmy, drained mentally and physically, wanted time away to focus on healing. The leak said Maurice and the network refused, arguing the storyline was too strong to lose. That word, strong, infuriated people. Strong isn't how you describe a woman's private pain. Strong is how you describe marketing. And that's what this looked like. Not support, but strategy. Meanwhile, Maurice seemed busier than ever. While Kimmy fought for her life, he juggled professional opportunities, hosting legal seminars, recording podcast episodes, attending panels, and networking. Fans couldn't help but notice the timing. Every time Kimmy's struggle became more visible, Maurice's public profile seemed to grow. Coincidence? Some thought so. Others saw pure opportunism. And then came the darker theories. Some fans speculated Maurice was trying to carve out relevance for himself in case the marriage didn't survive, that his emotional distance was intentional, allowing him to leave later without appearing like the villain. Others believed he was already shaping a narrative to protect his reputation before something bigger came out. Through all of this, Kimmy remained remarkably composed. Despite the exhaustion written all over her face, she kept showing up to film. She didn't lash out, didn't feed the rumors, didn't demand the spotlight. But fans noticed her silence wasn't strength, it was resignation. She looked like someone doing what she had to do, not what she wanted. That quiet determination broke hearts. As weeks passed, people began questioning more than just Maurice. They questioned the very foundation of the show. At what point does documenting someone's resilience become exploitation? Who decides when that invisible line has been crossed? To many viewers, it didn't look like Kimmy had control anymore. And Maurice? His silence grew louder by the day. Instead of addressing the criticism, he posted motivational quotes, promoted new episodes, and flashed camera-ready smiles that now looked hollow. He never publicly acknowledged the storm brewing around him, not even a vague statement recognizing his wife's pain or the audience's anger. The more he ignored it, the angrier people became. For longtime fans, the disappointment cut deep. They had invested in this couple's story since the beginning. Now they were left wondering if they had ever really known Maurice at all. Had he always been this detached? Or did fame and attention warp him? Either way, viewers felt betrayed. Through it all, Kimmy stood tall in her own quiet way. She focused on her recovery, her loved ones, and the supporters who genuinely cared. Occasionally, she shared health updates, offered gratitude to those praying for her, or sent heartfelt reminders encouraging others to stay strong. Those simple gestures drew fans even closer to her. She was no longer just a reality star. She was a woman fighting with dignity, and people rallied behind her. But the damage was permanent. The illusion was gone. Fans revisited older episodes with fresh eyes, reinterpreting past moments where Maurice appeared dismissive. What once seemed like harmless awkwardness now looked like a consistent pattern of self-interest. Even his defenders began stepping back. Some stopped watching altogether. Others openly criticized him. The fallout didn't stay confined to the fan base. Castmates weighed in through cryptic posts. Melody Holt shared an Instagram story about people who exploit others' struggles for attention. Marceau, never one to hold back, shared a meme mocking men who love their reflections more than their partners. Even the network faced heat. OWN was slammed for turning Kimmy's trauma into a plot point. Some demanded a public apology. Others argued Kimmy deserved her own platform, maybe a documentary or special episode dedicated solely to her journey, without the noise of cast drama or opportunistic behavior, something that treated her story with the respect it deserved, raw, inspiring, and profoundly human. As the debate grew, larger questions about reality television surfaced. How far is too far in pursuit of ratings? Where's the line between storytelling and exploitation? What safeguards should exist when the most intimate parts of someone's life are broadcast for profit? Amid all the noise, one truth stood clear. Kimmy didn't deserve this. She didn't deserve to become a supporting character in her own survival story. She didn't deserve to have her suffering treated like a marketing opportunity. What she deserved was care, compassion, and space to heal. Yet despite it all, she showed extraordinary strength. She may have been physically weak at times, but her resilience and dignity remained unshaken. Fans won't remember rating spikes or camera angles. They'll remember Kimmy's bravery, the way she faced the unthinkable with honesty and grace, even under the glare of reality TV. As the dust settles, one thing is undeniable. People can always sense when something is wrong, and this time, they saw right through the act. Kimmy Scott's story will be remembered not for the drama surrounding her husband, not for the controversies of the network, but for her, a woman who shared her fight openly, endured unimaginable pain, and somehow held on to her dignity every step of the way. At the end of the day, Kimmy's courage speaks louder than any headline or rumor. Do you believe Maurice truly supported her, or was it all for the cameras? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more real talk and updates.